right. Welcome everybody to another 1 hour Dune. I am playing a game against Jeff here. I start off with a couple of ho-hum missions, sand tides, and all similitudes world 1. I've got 3 objectives: sand ride, remove deployment tokens, or reveal deployment tokens, and put Paul and Jessica into the desert together. As most of you know, I like to play an aggressive Atreides style, and Jeff knows that. And my theory is that a aggressive Atreides is defeated by a defensive Harkonnen, is defeated by an Atreides player that plays objectives, is defeated by a aggressive Harkonnen, is defeated by an aggressive Atreides. I should probably do some sort of a like a graphic for that, but I am not. So, what to do here? I think I've shown my objective card already, and it is largely, if I remember correctly, I think it's mostly yellow, which is not a great objective card to be playing if you want to play aggressive. But, that's okay. Yep. 10 yellow, 5 green, 3 red. So if you're going aggressive, you have to figure you're going to take Arakeen, Carthag, and at least one other place. So that would put you at about 6 total points there, meaning you're going to need 4 yellow objectives. So maybe 2 eco stations and 2 other points. So I'm thinking here what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to spend my first turn putting Sand Rider, have a leader Sand Ride and put Paul and Jessica in the desert. And I can actually combo those 2. That'll get me 2 yellow, 2 green. Maybe I get a eco station to try to get lucky and flip either Paul or Jessica. We'll see. And I might be able to combo into killing some harvesters too. I don't know. I think I'm going to need extra dice, so I'll probably use my Bene Gesserit here. I have 1 deploy token. That seems good. Enough movement. I probably am going to need my Bene Gesserit to do a house dice maybe for Stilgar's action. So I'm going to be wanting to keep an eye out to see what Jeff decides to do here. Maybe he plays super aggressive. Maybe not. I don't know. All right, so I'm going to open with a deployment token, and I am going to see where my guys are. My good token is in the top right corner of the map, which is actually a good place to have a double elite. So a lot of the times my first deploy, and I draw a double regular. Double regular is not what you want to see, but I might as well get it out of the mix right now. So you'll notice I put Jessica in that siege. That probably is tipping off to Jeff what I'm trying to do. I can deploy Paul with a leader dice and then move and get the sand right objective. And then I can probably move again and take 2 harvesters. And then I can also put Paul and Jessica in the deep desert together. So by doing that early, it kind of puts him in a weird spot where he can't really do a whole lot about it. But he does move a kind of half-loaded unit into the desert by the North Pole. And then he also moves Carthag out probably to defend that eco station, because I like to go for that eco station if the basin is vacant. So whenever you see a Harkonnen player make a move like that, it means he's usually got a pretty good deploy card. So I go ahead and worm sign, kind of telegraphing my move with Paul and Jessica. Um, you know, he's gonna just go about his business here. So he deploys Beast and an Elite, and then wow, straight into that Legion, and then does a surprise attack right away. That's pretty brave. He's only got 4 units there, and that could have been my double elite. I mean, it's probably not. He probably thinks my double elite is not there, I would think, but that's still a pretty brazen move. He does have a surprise attack, so he's going to roll 4 dice. He is going to get enough hits. I do 2. I take 3. I'm dead. Ooh, brave. Okay, so he gets 2 points for that. Pretty great. And now what? I'm just going to go about my business. Play my leader dice. Put Paul out there. And I'll sand ride with, I think, almost everybody. I think I need to bring the Nabe because I've only got a double leader move. I have the house dice, but I probably should have brought the Nabe too, just in case he gets rid of the house dice. Anyway, I'll score sand ride. And then you can also see that I'm kind of like doubling up objectives, which is pretty good. Oh, and then I do decide to also bring the Nabe. Oh, I see. Nope. I do one move with... Okay, that makes sense. I do one move with Paul and Jessica, and then the other move with an Abe. And then I'll take out a Harvester, and then with my last leader dice, I can take out 2 more Harvesters. Okay, so he's going to deploy Thwyfer in kind of a defensive spot there. I'm going to play Lady Jessica to draw a card and play a card. I don't love that. So, oof. Well, I could, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to play Similitudes, and I'm going to move, I moved the wrong one there. I'm going to move Lady, yeah, I'm going to move, I think I fixed this. I'm going to change to move the yellow up to 2 and the green down to 0, and then draw a planning card. I know I'm likely going to score Paul and Jessica in the desert, and then that's going to get me Reverend Mother, also get me closer to 10, and then I drew Battle Language, which is pretty good. So if you don't have good cards, you just keep drawing until you get them, right? So now I actually did not need the Bene Gesserit token, I don't think. Okay, he moves into the plateau, which is sort of telegraphing an attack onto that other siege, I guess. It's a 1, so I don't really care too much. I could deploy there. Maybe deploy would be good. I don't know. Would you deploy? Or would you just go kill Harvesters? I think I'd probably go kill Harvesters. Let's see what current me does. Or past me, I guess. Current me, I think, would spend the leader dice, and then I'd sand ride one guy into a Harvester, or just regular move him into a Harvester, and then split the token for Paul and Jessica to try to spread my units out to maybe be in a good shape to score that desert objective, if 4 in the desert if it comes in again. But I do get all the Harvesters, so that feels good. And then, yeah, I do decide to split the token. There's no real reason to have that hidden token down. It does give a little bit of useful information away because he knows it was now a bad token and I'm left with only better ones in the queue. But it's better to do that to hedge for getting scoring an objective later. All right, he's going to house dice to put vehicles on the board. Okay, so the way he's playing right now, the Harks are likely the favored faction at the moment. Aggressive Harkonnen beats an objective-minded Atreides. All right, I'm going to worm sign. Um, and I'm worm signing with the idea of maybe putting these guys together at some point. It's going to be kind of hard to do. I could also grab some eco stations, probably would be the right move. Wow, he's going to attack it with that group of 3. All right. This seems a little risky on his part. That easily could have been a 3 siege and a 2 elite. Let's see what he does here. So it is a surprise attack. I'm rolling 3, he's rolling 3. And he discards? Nope. 3 to 3. Okay. Pretty good roll for him. I got 2 hits. They're both blocked. I take 3. I have 1 guy left. See, now it's... What's he do? I guess he downgrades and then continues the attack, and now I'm only rolling 2. Yeah, risky, but looks like that paid off for him. See if he discards 2 to 2 or 3 to 2. He does not. Okay. I roll a 2 hits. He rolls 4 hits. I'm dead. Good job. All right. That was a half-loaded army that conquered 2 sieges. Which means he's still got a lot of guys on defense then, too. All right. I'm going to do some more worm signing. Try to get my people together. Sometimes if you don't have great places to worm sign, you just want to put it out on the board to try to get worms on the board. Flexible for next turn. Let's see what he does here. I could pick up 2 eco stations. Seems pretty good. All right, he's going to do a double move with the beast. Oh no, double leader move. Okay. So 1 out there. So he's getting ready to attack that siege too. Yikes. Okay. So he uses his final ornithopter there, and then inches the beast a little bit closer. All right. Should probably do a Stilgar move. Oh no, I do a deploy. I don't know about that. So, yeah, Stilgar move goes and gets 2 points from objectives. I think that's probably worth it, but I did want to deploy to sort of get, because I know I have mostly good tokens left, so I want to start building up that group there, and maybe I'll get a couple of sandworms out. There's a decent chance that 1 or 2 sandworms will probably pop up in that location. All right, he's going to deploy at the North Pole, so I got to be a little bit careful here. He's at 3 points. I have some fairly weak sieges all over the place. I do have 1 good card. Battle language, I believe. All right, end of the turn. Or almost end of the turn. Oh, maybe it is end of the turn. What happened there? I must have cut out his last dice. Can't tell what he did. Yeah, I'm not sure. Must have been an editing issue there. Okay, so worm sign. No worms come up on the top of the board, which is too bad. He does get no spice, so he's going to have 3 bands up. And then I'm going to put Paul and Jessica back in the section. This is probably a mistake, because if I keep Jessica out there, then there's a reasonable chance the 3 point uh, Jessica becomes the Zendaya option comes out, and then that would be pretty good for point totals. But I figure maybe I just want to have her for the card draw. So I bring both her and Paul out. Reason for bringing Paul out is because I can deploy him with that big group. All right, no real good yellow objectives, so I'm in a tight spot. I pretty much kind of have to go military. I can score that 1 yellow point by, losing a deployment token. And then if I do that, then I guess at that point I could take the 6 points from the board and get to victory condition. I kind of wish I had that Bene Gesserit now, but we'll see. All right, I rolled 2 deployment, a movement, and a mentat. That's a pretty good combination there. I can make a real large group move and then attack with the mentat dice. So I like that. He's got all 3 bands up. And how do we open? I think we open with Worm Sign is what we do. Because really that's my win condition. My win, and I can only get, realistically, I can only get 1 attack pulled off. So I probably just need to put sand on the board first. Yep. I'm trying to conceal that I'm preparing for an attack. I'm sure Jeff knows it's coming, but, we'll see. No, I deploy instead. Why do I deploy? I feel like if I deploy, I'm just giving away what I'm doing. 2 elites. Ugh. I really wanted a Fadakin there. Oh, I remember what happens here. That's right. I get this wild hair that it's a good idea to deploy, because I didn't draw Fadakin, to deploy my 2 elites and Jessica in that siege that's about to get attacked. And my thought is he is not going to be able to discard cards, and he can't get to 6, and he doesn't have a surprise attack. So that was my thought. I have 7 hit points there, but I am risking Jessica, and he does have a surprise attack, which is too bad. All right, well, I'm hoping to slow him down a little bit and make this kind of painful. So I'll be rolling 5 dice. He will be rolling 5 dice. I can discard for 6, which I think is probably worth it here. So I discard for 6. He has a Thwifer, surprise, and then 5 dice. So I roll Jessica's special, but see, the problem is with Sardaukar, he just breaks those. And then Thwifer blocks all my stuff. Yeah, I think this was a mistake. So, okay, that's okay. So he blocks 3 of my 4. I do 1 damage to him. I block 1 from him and take 4. That was an excellent attack. So I dealt 1, I take 4. So I think I probably should trounce Lady Jessica here. Nope, I keep her. I'm not sure that's a good idea. He's still got Sardaukar, so rolling a special doesn't do any good. Alright, that's really too bad that went down that way. Alright, he's got a downgrade, so he downgraded an elite. Yeah, there we go. Okay, get rid of Jessica, put her in the tank. The problem with that is now I am not able to play her card, or not able to draw a card and play a card. So this whole exchange here was a pretty big debacle. That's a good example of probably being too greedy. I take 3. I'm dead. He gets 2 points. Not looking good, fellas. Okay, 5 total. And now I think I have to place sand on the board. Win conditions a little bit easier now because that big army is not in counterattacking distance. So, seems fine. So the idea will be to spend 1 move to get everybody on the mountain, and then do an attack with my card, although I no longer have Lady Jessica's ability, to attack again, and then I think my other idea was to maybe attack a 3rd time if I drew a good card, but that will not be happening. Major misplay. All right. So Jeff draws a couple of cards. I will do more worm sign, I think. Yep. I do it there. Why do I do it there? Maybe I'm trying to get him to play a card to remove worm sign. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't think that's a particularly good play, though. I should have just continued my chain. Sometimes I try to get a little bit tricky and try to disguise what I'm doing. All right, he plays. Ooh, ouch. Okay, he plays the card that removes 3 total worm sign, and he removes the 2 that I wanted the most. So, okay, and then he gets to draw 2 planning cards, 1 of each. Okay. And now I need to put worm sign back, and I can no longer spend time hiding my intentions. So worm sign on the board, and I have 1 more worm sign left, I think. Oh no, maybe not. I'm at 3, he's at 4. Yeah, I'll have only 1 more worm sign left to play. He moves back to the mountain. And then he also moves out towards the siege. So that's a very good move. So removing that worm sign, it protects the eco station. It prevents me from sand riding and attacking. Yep. And then I go ahead and get my last point by removing my single elite token. That puts me at 4. That's a free action to do. And now I have my ducks in a row, hoping for a double Fatakin. I got the 2nd worst deployment token. Okay, that's a regular and an elite. So that entire group only has 1 Fatakin in it right now, which is not ideal. Should have 2. All right. Yeah, I'm in a tough spot here because my desert power counting was off. Okay, he's going to take that siege for free, give him a point. And then the problem is he's actually down to 2 dice, and so am I, so I cannot desert power normally. So I have to play this Usul card. And I have to do it with a Mentat dice. No. No, don't do that, Wombat. What are you doing? Oh, okay, I drew 2. I guess I'm looking for attack cards, but I'm kind of miscounting that. So what I should have done, I think, is I should have played Usul, And then I should have played a combat card to move my guys to the edge and then saved my surprise attack for a surprise attack. I think if I remember my mind state, I think I was thinking that my army is so weak that I need to save my battle cards if possible. So, yeah, all right. Is what it is. So now I'm going to be one turn short because now I have to use this dice to play Usul and then play another card. Yeah, this whole thing's a train wreck. And I'm trying to think like, okay, maybe I play smugglers and use smugglers to reinforce Paul, but I just don't have enough action to do this, and I don't have enough time to wait. So I think the only move I have here is Usul. Would have been nice to have Paul Muad'Dib, though, man. Maybe I should have done similitudes in a different way. All right. So take a desert power and then play a card. So I'll do that. And then the card I'll play also is not great because it doesn't allow me to move two things. I was hoping to pull another elite into that group from my other siege, but now I'm forced to play a combat card just to move this whole unit up here with a movement dice. So big disaster. But that's okay. I think I've got 3 elites, a Fatakin, and 2 regulars, which that's not a terrible army. It's not perfect, though. But he is not within attack distance of a good army, so I'll have first opener, so I'll be able to attack out first turn. And I do have voice from the outer world, so yep. Okay, all seems pretty good. Now, I didn't get any of his harvesters this turn, so I'm going to rely on pulling some sandworms. If I do pull some sandworms, that'll be a pretty good feeling. All right, for his last trick, he is going to put harvesters on the board. Not exactly what I wanted to see because harvesters will help him get spice, and that'll help him get all his bands figured out. He's also up to 6 points, so he's not buying any this turn. He only needs 2 more sieges, really, because he's got both the ones. Let's see how many harvesters I get. 4. Nice. Okay. 3, 4. But yeah. So he still gets 4 spice, so he can keep 2 of his bands and covered. So it was probably good that he put those extra harvesters on the board. I'm not entirely sure where they popped up, but I'm sure they're happy to have them now. I imagine he'll keep land and Chone. Drop scouting, which that'll help him play defense too. So, all right, do some storms. Got one guy, he's dead. Let's see how we do on those guys. 2 hits. It's good. Toss both of those because I'm mostly looking for, I think, the red objective that lets me hit something. I don't really care about any of those at the moment. And my path for victory is 3 dice. 1 dice for the village, 1 for Carthage, and 1 for Arakeen. That's my hope. And I have atomics too. That could be good. See, the whole problem here is I'm going to be low on hit points, I think. Like, it feels good to have that big pile of stuff there, but I can't really use voice from the outer world to start the attack because I need to use my hit points as efficiently as possible, and I don't want to just give up a regular for nothing. And I roll 0 surprise attacks, which is just not great here. But I will put my third one as a surprise attack. Okay, that makes sense. So I think I surprise attack, and then I play a combat card, and then I do Voice from the Outer World to finish it off, is my idea here. He does roll a deploy, which is pretty good. I'm hoping he decides to deploy right away into Arsant. Or I mean, not into Arsant, into Carthag. I don't want him to deploy in Arsant. So I start with a surprise attack. And again, I only have one Fadakin here. And I don't have Paul Muad'Dib, so my surprise attack is not quite as brutal as it can be. But I do roll some extra hits. And do a ton of damage. But wow, I take 4 hits back. That's pretty tough. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. And then downgrade 1. So the reason I took my casualties that way is because I have Voice from the Outer Rim. And so that's making me think I can deploy and then maybe use that into Carthag. I don't know about that, but okay. So big move here for the Harks. He is not able to attack with his army in, I don't know what that's called, the basin, I think. Oh, that's a good move. So he's going to reinforce Carthag, and then he's going to Shigawire, which that is going to kill either Paul or Stilgar. And while Stilgar is good, he decides to kill Paul because Paul can get better. So, very fun move there. Okay, now I can't Voice from the Outer World, and I can no longer surprise attack. So now I have to draw a card, play a card, or draw 2 cards, play a card, I think. And now I'm actually looking for the Hello, I'm Stilgar card. Plus, if I draw bad ones, I can discard them. Man. The other thing I can do is I can Atomics right next to Arakeen, and I can also drop Gurney there too. That could be fun. But instead, I do Battle Language. So Battle Language is, he is restricted to 3 dice on his first turn. So I think my thought here is that he's got basically a full horde there with Sardaukar that are exposed and not protected by elites. So I think my idea here is to roll 6 to attack. I get a surprise attack. And then if I roll a bunch of hits, my Fadakin gets rid of a shield. And I don't get any use out of those specials because Paul and my neighbor are dead. So I do 4 damage, and he does 2 back. So now I'm in a lot of trouble. I did whittle that army down. And I could continue the attack, but I don't. Because I don't think I can win it. Ooh, I don't know about that. If I had the Stilgar reinforcement card, I could get behind that. But I don't. Not entirely sure what past me was thinking there. I think I was thinking it doesn't matter if I take Carthag because my win condition has to be taking Arakeen. And the only way I'm going to take Arakeen is by getting more troops in there. All right, he's going to attack my other siege here, which is, I think this is a 3. That's going to put him at 9 points. And not looking particularly good. He's got 5. There is no Sardaukar. No, there's one Sardaukar. He cannot discard. And I'm at 5 with 2 hit points. Not worth discarding for 6. Let's see what happens. Yeah, he has a surprise attack with through fear. He just needs 3 hits. I do roll 3 shields. He has 1, 2, 3. Everything's blocked. And everything back is blocked too. So, yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. Yep. Anyway, we sort that out. He defeats me, and we're good to go. A little bit of a confusing battle there, but it worked out. Okay, now what do we do here? We skipped a couple of things, so bad editing job there. I did an attack and discarded some cards into the basin. And the idea there was I'm going to plan on reinforcing with smugglers to try to fill that unit back up and then go for Arakeen next turn. That's my thought process there. So I did an attack on the basin. He moved his units up next to my final siege. He's only 1 point away. I need to worry about troop carriers. I also have Aaliyah out, which is good. Aaliyah came out when I took the basin. So I'm worried about troop carriers. For sure. And I'm worried about Harkonnen patrols. And I also need to play atomics. So the question is, what do I do with Aaliyah? Do I get rid of the deploy token? And then play atomics and play smugglers? I think that's what I do. I can only do that now because if I do Desert Power, then I can no longer use her ability. So I do that to get rid of deploy because I need to limit the amount of guys he can get on Arakeen. And then I will play atomics. And I actually think about atomics for a very long time here because I'm not sure the best place to do it, but I think the correct move is to put Gurney and Stilgar together and then let them go into the capitals. Again, I'm not going to win with objectives. I have to win with other stuff. Also, by putting Gurney on atomics, I will then score the desert objective, I suppose. Maybe. Or at least threaten to do it. I don't know. A little risky. Because he could definitely Harkonnen patrols and then attack. So I would have to deploy, which I don't have a dice to deploy anymore. Here comes a red card. Nope. Saddam. Okay, Emperor comes out, and now he plays a red card. And that red card is Hunter Seeker to get rid of Stilgar or Gurney. Gets rid of Stilgar. Okay. Stilgar is in the tank. I have one strategy move left. And I need to decide if I'm going to score that last point or not. I do have... Oh, I can't Stilgar move anymore. I can only move 2 guys. So Gurney's for 1. And then I can separate a unit and score the desert objective. And I think that's what I do. I take a harvester with it to try to double up usefulness, and then I'm going to go ahead and score that point. And the reason I go ahead and do that is because then I am at 7, and then if I take Carthage, I'm at 9, and then maybe I can get the eco station for 10. All right, he's got a house dice. Let's see what he plays here. It's probably going to be Carthage, the former capital, knowing my luck. Who knows? Let's see. Nope. He's putting elites on the board. Okay, that makes sense. He's going to stuff up Arakeen. See, so that's a good move. However, by scoring the desert objective, that's going to put me in range where Carthage might just be able to win it for me by myself. Yeah. And I do have the voice from the outer world now. So with that, I can place Paul in with Stilgar, attack Fade. I got a bunch of worms out. 2 harvesters down. He saves 1. So he gets 6, so all his stuff is protected. And that's going to keep all his bands available. I'll put Thufir in the deep desert. And okay, so what can I do here? Yep, it would be objectives are going to be pretty important here. I'm going to need at least 1 desert objective. So I'll have to toss the other 2 objectives and hope I get one that I can score fairly easily out there. All right. Yep, so he keeps all his objectives happy. He is 1 point away from winning. I will score Desert Wanderers or whatever that one is. And that puts me close. And then I'm going to trash both of these objectives. And he's going to put his new vehicles out. And I just need a single... Okay, I have a couple of options. I can stick guys in the minor erg, which is not necessarily going to be an easy thing to do. Or I can send Jessica to the dunk tank. I drew the Jam Gabar card. That lets me draw another victory condition and maybe get the 9. And I rolled 1 attack, 2 deployment, and a wild. And I have a token for a Mentat. So I think I have everything I need. I think I open with Voice from the Outer World now and don't save it for... I think I don't save it for Arakeen. I think I just take Fade out with it. I don't know, would you do something different? So the 2 possibilities here are I get things to the erg, or I find a way to dunk tank Jessica. And he may or may not be aware of which cards I'm pushing. I think he probably suspects yellow because of that turn 1 decision where I moved yellow up and green down. But I don't know. He has a good spread of attacks, but no deployment. So I play Paul's ability to do a desert power to move some sandworms and then do a surprise attack with a leader into Fade. Wowzer. Maybe that's right. I guess I'm keeping my option for Arakeen open with the voice from the outer world. I figure I can afford to take 2 hits here and it'll be okay. All right. So he's at 4 with 2 Sardaukar. I'm at 6. He's going to discard to go to 5. Little risky here for me. Okay, I lose 2 Sardaukar. He loses a Fadakin. Or loses 1 to a Fadakin. I block 2. He blocks 1. And then I deal 3, and he deals 2 back. That's more than I wanted. Yeah, now my army is toast, unfortunately. So there's 2. Oh no, I just take 2, I guess. And he takes 3. Okay, and then I downgrade to press, and I discard to get to 6. That seems okay. No? Do I get rid of a Fadakin? No. Oh. Oh, I just don't attack again. What? Oh, he retreats. Interesting. Okay. I think he's still fine. I think I took too much damage for Arakeen. But he does give me Carthag, which I think might have been a mistake. I don't know. I guess it depends on what happens with Fade here. Because again, his victory condition is just getting a siege. So Fade can move for 2 and then attack. So he is actually very close to that siege. I have to win very soon. If he does a double move with Fade out into the desert, then I'll have to deploy, I think. Okay, what's he playing? Forced recruitment. Guys in Arakeen. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. So now any hope of attacking Paul or attacking with Voice from the Outer World is out of the question. Because he has 6 elites in Arakeen right now. There's no chance I can do anything with that. So now that that's off the table, I still have the problem where I need to figure out what to do. And I have to basically deploy, and then I have to kill Jessica, I think. Right? Nope. I draw 2 and play 1. Fremen Rockets is a really good card draw there, because I can get rid of the... Nope. I've got my blinders up. Am I attacking Fade? Maybe I'm attacking Fade here. No, I'm attacking Arakeen. What am I doing? Wow. Could have sworn I would go after Jessica there. Maybe you know what? Maybe I'm just trying to spook him. Right? I mean, Gurney came out too. Boy, that's a big boy roll right there. Gurney and Paul both. He has no Sardaukar. I have 2 Fadakin. So he does 5, but I block 4 of them. Yikes, man. And then I do 7 damage. Holy cow. And I take 1. That is big time. No, did I do less? 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Then does he downgrade or not? I don't think I downgrade. I think I stop. I think I stop because I have another surprise attack in my toolbox with Aaliyah. Yep. Because I think what I'm trying to do here is I think I'm trying to get him to reinforce Arakeen instead of do whatever other shenanigans he has planned. And then I always could do another surprise attack and see what happens. Because that's a weak enough Arakeen now where one more surprise attack might be able to pull it off. Nope. I just keep pressing the attack. Greedy. Okay. So I discard down. I'm rolling 6. We're just going to try to win it here. Okay. He rolls a lot of shields. He does 3 damage and lots of shields. Okay. So I'm going to block all the damage and he's going to block all my damage. Yeah. That's too bad. Okay. Whole bunch of nothing. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but if you can, please excuse the chihuahua. All right. Everything, I can't continue the attack anymore now. I can't afford another downgrade. Okay, maybe that was the right move. I don't know. Maybe it shows my aggressive intentions on here. And he is now in a spot where maybe he's not thinking about the Jessica objective. All right. He is spending a dice to consolidate back in Arakeen. That's exactly what I'm hoping he's going to do. And then I can... He has 4. I could use Aaliyah here. But I don't really have... I mean, I could dig for that objective card. Wow. What are you doing, Wombat? All right, I'm playing sand stuff. I think just because, here's the thing, if I don't have anywhere good to put Jessica out. Man, I don't know about that. Okay, fair. Well, let's see how this works. All right, he's going to upgrade to Sardaukar. That makes some sense. Okay, well, that's good. Maybe I'm just trying to get him to use dice. That might be it. Maybe I'm just trying to get him to use dice. So I now have a deploy. And the problem is wherever I put Jessica, he can cover. So, well, there's my Fatikin. I'm going to put her out here. That is a little sketchy. His move here, and it's hard to see, but his move here is moving Fade to where the eco station is. But I think my thought is that maybe I could get him with the Sandworm if he does that. And here he's doing a surprise attack instead. Yep. Okay. All right. I'm going to pretend that my idea was to do a desert power to make it look like Jessica was up to something. Draw his attention away from that objective. He is going to attack. I will probably discard my cards here. And I should make it look like I want my guys to stay alive, I think, right? because the last thing I need to do is just put Jessica in the tank and then not lose somehow. Although, I guess that's, to be fair, even if I put Jessica in the tank, he can still win. So, yeah, I'll keep my cards. Keep my cards. Ooh, tight game, man. Okay. He's got 3 Sardaukar. I've got 2 Fatakin. We each take 3 hit points in damage. And I'll put Gurney in the tank. And I'll put, downgrade my 2 Fatakin. Let him retreat me. Maybe I should have stayed there. Oh no, he just decides to not press the attack. Okay, so now I can put Jessica in the tank. And now he has to win. And if he doesn't win, then I win. And I'm basically telling him I'm winning now, because that's a really weird move to do for 1 point. But he only has 2 dice left, so he's going to need 1 to play, like, patrols, but yeah, even that doesn't help him. So he actually does something I didn't anticipate, which is just doing a straight up surprise attack. Now he only has 1 dice with a second hit here, but he can't discard cards. So this could actually work, and I hadn't really considered that. Maybe the right move was to deploy to that location first. But then if he had the dice that caused me to discard, oof, and I only rolled 1 shield. All right, well, let's see what happens here. He rolls 3 hits. I block 1. And then I do 4 back. Holy cow. Holy cow. 1 sword away from, well, I guess even then I still would have wiped him. But, man, that was awfully close. All right, that is game. We end. I tell him I have Jessica's, or I tell him that objective put us over. He concedes. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you like this game. A good mix that time.